Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Act 1, Scene 2 of Macbeth. In this scene, Shakespeare introduces Macbeth for the first time. Interestingly, Macbeth does not appear on stage, but other characters talk about his bravery and achievements in battle. This scene helps us understand why Macbeth is respected throughout Scotland. Act 1, Scene 2 takes us from the mysterious world of the witches to the reality of war. Scotland is facing a serious crisis. A rebel named MacDonald has risen against King Duncan and is being supported by foreign soldiers. King Duncan is waiting anxiously for news from the battlefield because the future of his kingdom depends on the outcome of the war. A wounded captain arrives before King Duncan. Although he is badly injured, he reports everything that happened during the battle. Through his description, we learn about Macbeth's courage and fighting skills. Duncan listens carefully because the captain has first hand information about the war. MacDonald is the main rebel fighting against King Duncan. He is not fighting alone. He has received support from foreign soldiers from the Western Isles. These soldiers have joined him to strengthen his army. This makes MacDonald a serious threat to Scotland's peace and stability. His actions are considered an act of betrayal against his king and country. The captain describes Macbeth by saying, "For brave Macbeth, well, he deserves that name." This is our first introduction to Macbeth. Before he becomes the tragic character we know later in the play, Shakespeare presents him as a national hero. He is known as courageous, loyal, and willing to risk his life for Scotland and King Duncan. The captain says that Macbeth was valor's minion. Here, valor means bravery and minion means favorite servant. In other words, Macbeth seems to be bravery's chosen warrior. Shakespeare uses this powerful compliment to show that Macbeth fought fearlessly and stood out among all the soldiers on the battlefield. The captain explains how Macbeth defeated MacDonald in battle. The description is violent because it shows the harsh reality of war. The important point for us is not the violence itself, but Macbeth's determination and courage. He fights he fights bravely and completely defeats the rebel leader, helping to protect Scotland from danger. After defeating MacDonald, Macbeth's forces, by forces we mean the army. Macbeth's forces places the rebel's head on the castle battlements. In Shakespeare's time, this was a symbol of victory and a warning to others who might think about rebelling. It showed that the enemy had been defeated and the king's authority had been restored. Now, the word battlement refers to, so it is basically the top defensive walls of a castle. So there are gaps in between, and those gaps are used for shooting arrows. Even after defeating MacDonald, the battle is not over. A new threat arises when Norway launches another attack against Scotland. Macbeth does not stop fighting. he continues to defend his country with the same courage and determination. This further strengthens his reputation as a heroic warrior. After hearing about Macbeth's bravery, King Duncan decides to reward him. At the same time, the Thane of Cawdor is found guilty of treason and loses his title. Duncan gives that title to Macbeth. That is why he says, "What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won." This moment is very important because it begins to fulfill the witch's prophecy and brings Macbeth one step closer to his destiny. Let's quickly revise the key points then from this scene. Macbeth is introduced as a brave and loyal hero. He defeats the rebel MacDonald and helps defeat the Norwegian forces. Because of his service, he is rewarded with the title of Thane of Cawdor. The scene also introduces the important themes of loyalty and betrayal. At this point in the play, Macbeth is seen as the hero of Scotland, but his journey is only beginning. With that, boys and girls, we come to the end of Act 1, Scene 2 of Macbeth. And I hope this lesson helped you understand the scene better and made your revision easier. If you found the video useful, do share it with your friends and classmates who may also benefit from these lessons. Also, to help you prepare thoroughly for your exams, I have created a practice questionnaire based on the actual patterns of questions that are asked in ISC board exams. The link to the questionnaire is given in the description box below. You will also find a separate link to the answer key in the description box. Thank you, girls and boys, for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Until then, take care, keep learning, and have a wonderful day ahead. Bye bye.